All right, I'm going ahead and record.
What?
I just hit record. We'll see what happens.
You hit record, terrible, and now you're seeing what happens.
Anyway, so when's the last time you bought a new Magic product?
It's been a while. I think Double Masters, and that was a little underwhelming.
Underwhelming?
Are you kidding me?
Double Masters compared to Ultimate Masters, guys? Are you kidding me, guys?
There's
Come on.
way more stuff in Double Masters than there is Ultimate Masters.
There is way more, but I'm a guy about print quality and having roller lines fresh out of the pack. That's not okay in a VIP pack, in a box topper.
At the price you paid.
At the price I paid, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the worst part about it. That they charge that kind of premium and they don't put out high-end product.
Yeah. The centering, the surface.
That's true.
No.
However,
Yep.
in Ultimate Masters, the box toppers, they do have a tendency to fold up.
A little bit, but they don't grade you at a penalty when they curl up.
Beckett does.
Beckett does not, no.
Beckett doesn't know what they're doing.
If they're potato chips, if they're Pringles, you don't get penalized on the surface or edges or anything. Whereas, if there's like a cut line, and there were a lot of cut lines in about 70% of the Double Masters box toppers, you look really closely, there are cut lines, and you're getting hit with a 1.5 surface deduction and whatnot. That's just not cool. That's not cool.
So you've had videos talking about grading newer cards.
Yeah.
It's a nifty kind of topic sometimes, right?
It's because Magic's the only thing where people don't grade new cards.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon, people grade all the new full art.
Yep.
Flesh and Blood, people grade the new cards.
Mm-hmm.
Magic, grading new cards is laughed at.
It's a really interesting dynamic that
Yeah,
shifts
weird.
like that.
Yep.
Although I have sent in my Ultimate Master box toppers that did get 10s on them. Sold them.
To me, one of them to me.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Proof. Investors just sell new
But actually, you know what's interesting is you don't see those transactions on eBay a lot. It'll just be like direct contact with Facebook groups and stuff. A lot happens in the background that people don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think that the market does not care about new graded stuff. I don't know.
For the most part, I agree. Yeah.
It's very fringe. I'll agree with that. You need nuts like me that want a set of everything in BGS clock, diamond label, whatever, with all the extra bells and whistles.
Plus, 2 pluses.
I'm sure that's completely different for Flesh and Blood though, because it's like everybody feels like they're getting in on the ground floor. So if you're gonna get a really good card in a Flesh and Blood new box, like a first edition, like Crucible or something like that,
Yeah.
I'm sure that nobody would question grading that. But it's completely different for Magic.
Cold foils? No, there's no question at all. Everybody knows. These cold foils are very scarce.
Yep.
Go grade them. There's what, 940 Arknight shards, there's under 1,000 Cheyennas. Grade your good stuff.
That's a low number.
It is.
That's Alpha putting in numbers right there.
Yeah. There's 1,000 black
Your sound in
lotuses.
this video is going to be trash.
Sure. That's okay.
Who cares?
I'll throw it over the wall.
Hey, before you complain about sound, know that you're lucky you're even seeing this. We almost didn't film it.
That's right. Someone might have plucked out your eye, so we're very grateful you're seeing it.
And if you don't like it, turn it off.
Or turn it up, either way.
Yeah. Or turn it up. And blame him.
This is why your channel's not growing.
That's right.
You're telling the people to go away.
Yep. Go away.
Terrible business.
But is it bad advice?
No, maybe not.
No, they love our channel. And they definitely love our sound quality.
They tell us all the time how much they love our sound quality.
Even Saint's new video.
Yeah.
The sound is awful.
Yeah, it is. I'll admit it, when we moved into our new office.
Terrible.
Everybody's like, what's wrong with the echo? It's like, we just got here, guys. We just wanted to make a quick announcement and beating us up about,
Yeah. People are all over that.
Yeah, Skywalker light and sound, like I gotta get everything set up like it's Lucasfilm or something like that.
Well, people that don't do videos, they don't know how much effort goes into that. Getting all your lighting and sound right.
Absolutely, our editing.
There's a lot, actually.
Or furniture.
Or furniture.
Hey, it took a lot to get my couch.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, in Florida, it's hard to get furniture in Florida.
Still waiting on the couch. I paint.
Where did you order all this furniture?
February. Just showed up.
Wow. So 6 months, no, 5 months.
So eventually I'll get that sound quality fixed. Eventually.
Anyways. So,
How about that announcement?
So you do actually play old school.
I do, yes.
What are your favorite decks?
My favorite deck's in old school, usually a weenie.
really what the deck?
A weenie deck,
Oh,
weenie,
okay.
white weenie, something like that. Let's see, once in a while I'll play some control. Just basically whatever my buddies have. Red, black, land destruction, something weird.
There's
sometimes.
a really popular weenie type deck that's been doing really well in tournaments. It's all like Savannah Lions, Lightning Bolts, Chain Lightning,
Yep.
like Black Ice. It's basically just like it's been ripping down control decks because just every card they put on the table is something they have to answer.
Yep.
So that seems like something you'd probably really get into because it kind of meets those things, multiple things you said.
Yeah. Sounds interesting.
They're like usually like red, blue, like ATOGs and stuff like that in them.
My arms are not.
Yeah.
It's Savannah Lions, right? White.
Yeah, it's red, white, and blue usually.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
America.
Yeah, so you get the Savannah Lions out there for that early pressure. If you could do like 4 points with the Savannah Lion, that's pretty good.
Really?
But the ATOG, I mean, after you play for a bit, you've got Unhinged Magi and Black Ice on the table. And then when you're swinging with like Moxes and those for damage, you know that ATOG can go lethal really easily. It's really hard against control decks.
Oh, I believe it. An ATOG. Yeah, with the Moxon. So it's all the power 9 are in there, right?
Usually, yeah. People don't play Twist as much, but sometimes.
Mind twist.
Mind twist?
No. Time Twister.
Oh,
It's mind twist.
You know, like your new card.
All I know is when I see a mind twist and use that against me, I can discard my whole hand. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
I had a lot of people scoop on a mind twist. No joke. You mind twist them and they just scoop.
Good night.
Yeah. Because it usually does end the game, but not always.
97% of the time. You have cards, they have no cards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if someone has 5 cards in their hand, you mind twist them for 5, and their hand goes to 0, I mean,
Yeah, another time.
yeah.
If there was one card banned in old school, it would for me it would be that. It would be mind twist. Because the fast man is too easy to get, and a mind twist can happen too early, and it just determines the game. And just I don't know.
That's one of the things I do like about Flesh and Blood. Because you automatically you know you're gonna get a card.
Yeah. That actually is quite different.
There's no mana screw.
Nope.
I really like that.
Yeah, every game's a game.
Yep.
Every game's a game. There's no non-game. There's no like 20 to 0 game.
Yep.
And you can do comebacks. Really huge swings and
Yep.
comebacks.
Yep.
You like library? Swallow.
I love it.
He was talking about it.
You love that card?
I love that card. Why?
Why?
Wait.
Here we go.
They're gonna go player versus environment. It's gonna be player. Let's say we are a party, and let's say we go on a raid, which is versus a big boss, which is gonna come out. I'll bet money on it. It's gonna come out.
Okay.
James, you're doing it, but it's gonna come out. And we all have a library, and we all turn our decks a certain way. We can buff up. It's like an intellect buff. I mean, I'm at a table of nerds, right? So
Yeah.
you play Final Fantasy, you play Warcraft, you play anything. It's an
You gotta
intellect
have
buff.
bosses. I agree. That makes sense. I like that transition.
Right? So if you think about it, we all have a library in. The moment we all have we're 4 players on this raid. We have a library. We could go up from a hand size of 4 to a hand size of 8. So it's like a plus magic, plus wisdom, plus INT buff.
Yeah.
In Dungeons and Dragons or any role-playing games. And think about it. I mean, it's gonna happen. They don't do it for nothing. The writing's always on the wall, like with the cards. Like, what is it? Command and Conquer. Destroy your whole arsenal or destroy your enemy's every card in the arsenal. Right now, there's only 1 card in the arsenal. We're about to find out really soon that there's going to be more cards allowed in the arsenal.
You know, library aside, like just the concept of having a player versus environment, that's pretty exciting to me.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
Wait, so we're all in agreement that that's coming, right?
Well, I don't know.
Nothing
I have no
official.
idea. I'm just saying I would like it.
Oh, yeah.
What?
If they supported that, I would buy it.
It makes sense.
They will support that. They're not making a library willy-nilly just for one heads-up play because
Because
it's
it
not
doesn't
really
make
functional.
Yeah, it wasn't
Heads up.
functional. When I analyzed it, I went, This?
So I should go online and buy a bunch of libraries.
If we're doing player versus the environment.
You should do it before you release this video.
How much? Aren't the unlimited libraries like $300?
$300-400, yeah.
And the cold foil is what? Down to 18, 19?
1900, yeah.
That goes down to 1,000.
No, it's not gonna go down to 1,000. There's just no way.
You know, just that, the first thing you mentioned, the fact that an unlimited card in an unlimited set, or a print run, is actually $300, that's amazing to me. Like a print to demand, unlimited kind of thing, that's amazing.
That's amazing in an inflated number. What help? You believe that it's expensive relative to the card?
Well, I mean, just, if they come out and say, you know, the whole promise, as I understood it, and correct me if I'm wrong for Flesh and Blood, is that you have these early first edition boxes with cold foils and they're very rare. And then you have the unlimited print runs, which to some extent, I keep hearing, are supposed to be print to demand.
They are.
So a print to demand box with a $300 card in it is amazing.
Okay. If this were Magic and you were using your Magic mindset, I would agree with you. Because sure, you get the same mythic every 3 boxes. Like, you open up 3 or 4 boxes, you get one of every single mythic. Except the library is a Fabled card. It's being printed 1 out of 40 boxes. So out of 40 boxes, that's your one hit.
Okay.
And like, you've got mythics that are $100. I mean, especially in the Masters.
So that makes sense.
Right?
So people are going to have to have such a large investment to get that it keeps that price up.
It's 10 times more rare than any mythic has
For the
ever
record,
printed in any
Battle for
Magic.
Zendikar, I did a mass box opening on that. Hundreds of boxes. And one in every, I think out of 400 boxes on Battle for Zendikar, I got 5 Scalding Tarn lottery masterpiece cards. At the time, they were $4 a piece.
Yeah. So it's
So
similar.
again, and then the Magic box was $80, $80, $90 at the time.
Yeah.
So it was able to maintain the higher price because of the rarity.
Yeah.
Like saying this thing, the fact it's one so many, it is able to kind of buoy and balance up.
But they've gotten rid of that Magic.
Well, no, now it's 1 mystical archive per pack and
Oh,
1
yeah.
penny.
Oh, Lord. That's what you get when you take away scarcity, right?
Yeah, I had a video I put up. I bought a stack
Spoken
of
like an
mystical
evil
art.
investor. Evil investor.
Wow.
People already watched this one.
If they made it this far.
They ain't gonna make this far. The sound quality got better now. too.
Yeah, I'm sure they all clicked off by now. Especially when I told them to go away.
Hey, welcome to Unhinged Magi. Just fuck me out. Go away.
Get out!
Oh my god. I'm saying, yeah, but you know, $300 for a Fable Unlimited is, I think it's about right.
Yeah.
It's impressive though. And that's definitely going to keep those boxes valuable. The fact that there's cards in
Valuable.
them.
You seen the price?
Of like unlimited?
Monarch?
Well,
It's like
even
$60.
that seems too low to me, honestly. If
Yeah.
there's cards that have that kind of value, I think that's under what the market should
I
be
wonder
at.
what a mass box opening of that would be.
I would advise against that. I would advise to do Welcome to Wraith, but even more than that, your favorite set, Arcane Rising. Arcane Rising right now has the Arcanite Skullcap, which is $300, the Eye of Ophidia, which is $350, Command and Conquer, which is $80 non-foil, $120 foil. You get a Command and Conquer 1 every 4.5 boxes, 1 every 5 boxes. Art of War is like $70.
Yeah, but you can't easily get hundreds of Arc Unlimited right now.
Oh, you can't?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm just saying, if there was
No.
one
No,
box
I
to
can't.
open,
I can't
the EV is positive. The EV is inverted right now. I made a video about it. I'm public about it. The EV is completely inverted because Majestics, there's only 10 Majestics. You get 2 to 3 Majestics per box. There's only 10 total in Arc, and 2 of them are worth more than the box. And every single Legendary is worth more than the box. And the Fabled's worth like 2 cases. And the best Legendary, the Helmet, which everybody uses, is worth a case and a half or something like that. So you do the math, you're literally opening up money if you open up 500 boxes.
So I've got a really important question for you. So you always buy old cards, you never sell them. Because the cards are more important than the cash, right? Here's the question.
I'm getting
Would-
thrown on stage here.
Would you trade old Magic cards for Flesh and Blood?
No.
You wouldn't do that. Doesn't matter what Flesh and
I'll
Blood.
buy the Flesh and Blood, but I won't trade. I don't do trades, period.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I just don't engage. I don't engage in trades, whether it's Pokemon, Magic. I don't across the board. I just don't do it.
Okay.
Because when you handle so many transactions and parts, I can't. I wouldn't be able to manage it safely.
So you wouldn't go the other way as well. It's not. It's not a benefit to Magic or lack of Flesh and Blood.
Right,
It's just like you just don't trade.
I just don't trade. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
That's
Because I don't like the idea of losing something because I feel cash is trash.
Well, I think we all feel
We've
that,
talked about
probably.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit on $10,000 in the bank when I can swap it over to collectibles that will do something for me.
See, that was the interesting thing about the question, because I know that we all here feel that cash is trash, inflation's coming, and all that. That's why I was
It's already here. It's not being
Exactly.
recorded.
Wait, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
I agree with you completely.
But that's why I was asking about trading old Magic for Flesh and Blood, because you're not trading for cash, you're trading for another asset.
Yep.
Yeah, but
So
I'm
that's a
giving up
different
something.
question.
That's the same thing as logging to your brokerage account and selling Apple stock to buy Google stock.
Well, I mean, if you're
I
just,
would rather buy the additional stock and keep the old one.
well, but there's transaction costs and stuff if you're talking about like financial assets, because there's a buy/sell spread, things like that. You got to pay fees, things like that.
Yes.
But if you're trading with somebody, you might not necessarily have any kind of transaction cost. So that
I'd
changes
still
it.
rather just, if somebody says, hey Rudy, here's a box of Revised, I want 10 grand, I'd rather buy the box of Revised for 10 grand versus saying, hey, will you give me 2 WTR alpha boxes for 5,000 each?
There's also no gain, so you're just
swapping. Yeah, I feel
Well,
like
yeah, but you're basically going into other assets, right? Like you're diversifying a little bit, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't need, if you don't need the diversification, and you just need to get rid of the cash,
Yep.
it's a different scenario.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
I did that. I made a notorious Alpha
You
Black
did,
Lotus
yeah.
video. Yeah, I traded my Alpha Black Lotus for a bunch of first edition product. And then
You
first
got a
edition
lot of
product-
heat for that.
Yes, I did. I did.
You got a
On
lot
the
of
Reddits and
People got angry.
yeah, people
Dude,
got angry at me
people-
and said,
they
"You're an
were
idiot.
called- oh, yeah.
You're a fool in his Lotus or soon part." It's like
Oh, wait, it was Flesh and Blood haters that were
What is
angry.
Lotus?
probably and MTG finance people because
Okay.
God forbid, did I just devalue your graded Alpha Black? All of you, the many of you that hold the 200 pop Alpha Black Lotuses on MTG finance and making troll
Okay.
posts.
So they were speaking their book,
Yes.
effectively.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not kind of them to do that. But
No,
okay,
no,
I understand
definitely.
why they're doing
It's-
that.
I do have to ask, so why did you trade it versus just buy it?
Because the product wasn't for sale, and I said in my video too.
Oh,
that-
okay.
that-
See, that's also.
Yeah, guys, there's
Okay.
right now Fab first edition product outside of our positions or the many that are the few that have the first edition product. There's not a lot
No,
out
there
there.
isn't.
There's not cases just lying
No,
around.
there's not.
There really isn't, and
No.
you need to produce something of scarcity and extreme value to liberate.
So the
those
person who you
lots.
did that deal with.
He didn't need money. Money, cash is trash to him too.
Okay.
And it's like, you've got a lot of good stuff. I mean,
Okay.
I took his skull cap from Arcane, which is a #1, that's like the tunic
Yeah.
from Arcane Rising. I graded it 9.5 quad plus plus. It's #2.
Oh, well, thank God it was a quad plus plus.
Oh,
Oh my God. It wasn't 2 pluses, I'm out of the room.
if it was just a quad or a basic,
Where's
then
my
it's garbage.
pinstripe suit?
But looking back, are you glad with that trade that you did?
I'm still happy with the
Black
trade.
Lotus?
Yeah. I have a new friend in the Northwest. We still keep in touch, and it's about building your network. And it's
There
But
about-
see, that was
yeah.
distinct that he said, so Saint offered the cash. He wanted something unique for something unique.
Yeah.
That's different, Edwin,
Yeah.
than the scenario you gave me.
Yep, it is.
Because that's saying you lose the whole deal unless you give me something unique.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, when I trade this for that, I said, no, I'd rather just pay for it.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
if the other party says, well, I don't want money, then you're in a different conversation.
So, okay, what if that was the situation? They had something you really wanted and they didn't
It
want
would
cash.
have to be something, insane. Because
Like,
Saint said,
like
no.
one of your 30 bazaars or something like that.
As if he only has 30 bazaars.
Come
Come on.
on, that was like 30. Dude, come on, you were triple.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Those are little league numbers, buddy.
Your rookie numbers.
Those are rookie numbers.
Watch his videos more. There's a lot more than that.
But no, it makes sense that because I would, in order for me to trade, like a lot of people over the years, including these guys, have wanted like Rudy, like PSA 10s. Like that's a very special thing. And it doesn't matter if you pay me full price or above market. Like he even knows. I'm not even. He just doesn't care.
Yep.
You can't. Even if the card's worth 10,000, even if he said I'll give you 15, I'm still gonna say no.
He's already said no. I tried to buy.
He did. He tried to buy some 10s, even above market. I don't want the money.
It was 3 times above market, actually.
Because then all I do when you're in a certain situation, it's okay. Thanks for the money. Now I have to look at it. Once you pass paying bills and taking care of your family, it's what do I do with the money?
Yep.
You know, I don't want to put it in the bank. Now again, if this was 2005, where a CD at my bank paid 5%, and you know a AA, single A corporate piece of paper or corporate bond, you know, paid 8% for a.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
You know that. Well,
right now.
dude, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to do that stuff all the time, man. Are you kidding? You know that back in the day.
Back
Are
in
you
the
kidding me?
day.
Oh my God, dude. You know, I'm infamous for that Royal Caribbean bond video I did in Victoria's Secret and the Tyson, L brands, all that
How
stuff.
about early 1980s bonds that pay like 20%?
Dude, they were
or something
20 to
like
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
Well,
Get like a 30-year note.
Yeah, but well,
With
first
that
of
kind
all,
of rate?
for the record, you couldn't do that. I actually did research back then. I had a case study when I was in college. You know, I went to school and
You never went to school.
no,
You got me.
there was a case study, and one of my projects was go in the 80s and find like your goal in your virtual assignment was to lock in like 10x amount of millions for a client at long term at high interest rates. And I actually dug back, and in the 80s, when the rates skyrocketed, where CD rates were 7-8%.
Paul Volcker
nine-
raised rates, all that. Yep.
The problem was all the bonds being issued, the companies knew it was temporary. Nobody issued 30-year bonds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were all issuing 3 to 5 year bonds.
That was it. That was
That
the
was it.
longest
Makes sense,
note.
yeah.
The corporate paper,
Makes sense.
because it's
What about U.S. Treasuries?
I didn't look at the treasury. Sorry,
That might have been
It
different.
may have been different, but I'm just saying the
I bet you
market
there was at least 10 years because they go a yield
Maybe.
curve off of those.
Yeah,
They probably didn't.
probably
they-
inverted yield curve. Probably inverted.
Oh, I'm sure it was. But they probably sold 10-year notes, I bet, in the 1980s.
And unless you got in on that what they call primary auction, if you try to buy in the secondary market, it probably popped to a premium, 130 cents on the dollar to get the bond, so your yield tilted back.
Well, you
And trust
guys
me,
get
it's
major
harder than
advantage
you
in
think.
primary auction.
You probably know what the hell Dharma, because I did all that. And let me tell you something. I
I
mean,
didn't do the research on it.
the rates were great and all, but again, I'm telling you, back then, it's like right now, after 08, when rates went to 0, and even the last 10 years, like Ford issued 99-year bonds. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not. I did not know that.
It wasn't supposed to be funny, but yeah, multiple companies have 50-year, there's tobacco bonds, 0 coupon tobacco bonds that were like 3 cents on the dollar. They had like 40-year maturities. And then Ford did 99-year bonds. I think like AT&T or some like telecom company did like 85-year bonds. Because they knew the rates today were worth locking in long term. So because I was like, dude, all right, hey, we can do a 50-year thing and borrow money, and the coupon was like 4%. Dude, that's
Good.
Wow.
yeah.
Cheap money.
And the opposite, the other side of the coin, in the 80s, when CDs were 8% and the bonds were 12, 15, and higher yield was 20, they knew they were just going to refi, man. They all had call options, redemption early. They had all that built in. There were riders attached. Everything was, you couldn't do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Did we just turn into like Econ 301
I think we
or
said a
something
real
like
one.
that?
That was a real lesson.
That was actually a real fun,
We
yeah.
went from
Yeah.
Wrong channel.
to an actual lesson.
We can't let people know we actually know finance.
No.
Don't talk about that.
We're still in the basement. This is still the
Right.
Anyways, but a lot of people say that. Like, I wish I'd locked it in. You couldn't really do it. They would have called them, they would have matured them, they would have refied them. It's just not. It is what it
Well, it's like people saying, "I wish I would have locked in 5 boxes of Alpha Magic." Like you didn't find 5 boxes of Alpha
It
Magic.
didn't work that way.
They didn't even exist in
No.
those places.
I knew stores. I've talked to stores in Florida who would and back then it was like a mail order form for Wizards. Like you wrote down like your credit card and you put in the envelope. So I want like 2 boxes of Legends, and then like 4 weeks later you'd get like half a box, like 18 packs.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm serious.
I can't even imagine.
That's all. No, 4 weeks. Oh, just get it today, bro. And you don't even know if it's gonna show up.
And compared to Alpha, that was a decent sized print run too.
Legends, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, compared to Alpha, Beta, and
back
Limited.
then, yeah. Compared.
Well, except
Yeah.
for Denton, Texas, where they were on the shelves and I
Yeah, well,
blue.
yeah, this is
There was
Florida.
like 40 to 50 in every store. It was
That's
crazy.
You know, I want
But
to
they were
know.
all B. They're all B versions.
I want to hear somebody
supposed to be
tell the
rockets.
history.
No, no,
Yeah.
Mana Drain.
Yeah.
And I had tons of Mana Drains. And I was like, man, how am I supposed to use all these?
And so I sent those into Wizards Coast to get the other ones.
Caracas?
Wait,
No, mana drains.
You still
No, you sent.
To
Yeah,
get
they had an
Drain to
option
get
so you could
Caracas.
send them in.
Did
so
you actually
you
get
got-
them back?
yeah,
To
well,
get
yeah.
Caracas.
Well, yeah, because I didn't have Caracas, but you get, random stuff.
Oh, no.
Did they actually send stuff back?
Yeah, they sent a bunch of stuff back. They were very legit about that.
Gosh.
Back
Sticks
then, they were
with it.
actually doing stuff.
Whoa, shots
I
fired.
know, right?
You know what I want to
Now
know?
they don't care.
I want to know, why was Dallas like so crazy with Magic? What, of all places, why was Dallas like, hey, we're going to send all of our Magic product here? Was it because somebody was just lazy and they just like sent it all off to one spot? Or was there like a major dealer in
There-
Dallas?
No, because
That was willing to
it was
accept it?
it was in every single comic book store. Okay? Back then, they were comic book stores. They weren't like LGSs.
So there must have been like a distributor that was out there.
There had to have been, but I don't know any distributors. I would call West Coast Car Company to have them mail stuff to me. And that was Pristine Comics eventually.
I don't remember who was running it back. I have no idea.
Yeah, but I was getting boxes from them, but every single store had it. Every single comic book store. From Irving all the way up to Denton. It was fantastic.
Gosh, I wish that happened in my area.
I remember,
But again, I'm telling you guys, man, it's so easy to say this stuff when you already know the data. It's
Well-
the same thing I make fun of people. You know, Apple stock was like one of the worst investments in like, what was it, like the 80s? It was,
Yep.
And people were like, oh, I should have put it all in that fruit company, like Forrest Gump. Remember that stuff?
yeah.
And, but you can't say that because I guarantee you would not have held that stock for 10 years for no return. In the time that you just said interest rates were skyrocketing, you could have made all this money. And you would have held that stock.
I had Tesla stock all the way until, for a long period of time, I sold it the day before it spiked.
Brutal.
That was so devastating.
Yeah, it's all right. I sold my Dogecoin. Here it comes. Yeah, I bought it half a
She
cent.
starts laughing.
I sold my Dogecoin.
Good job, Elon.
I think I had 200,000 Dogecoin,
Uh-huh.
and I paid a half a cent. And
You
I
sold
sold
it
it.
at 7.
I sold it at 7.5.
I
Cents?
bought it then.
7.5 cents. And again, I still made. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I bought it at
14
half. I
cents,
sold
yeah.
7.5. I mean, that's a huge percentage.
Yep.
And then she bought it. She
I bought
made
it.
fun
I
of it.
bought it the day we sold it.
So because I sold a 7.5, she bought a 7.5.
Oh, really?
Hilarious.
The following week, 10x to 70 cents.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Let me know whenever you sell something else.
No joke, just straight up. And I was like,
He was so mad. It was
but
good.
again, I bought it at half and I sold it 7.5. So again, but the point was, you can't say that stuff with Magic, man. It's the same thing like you with the Tesla thing. He held it, he was waiting away at the point. He's like, all right, I'm gonna lock it in. I'm moving on.
Yep.
It's like you really, and I said, even with Amazon stock, for the .com crash, Amazon stock went all the way up to like 120, 30, 40, crashed all the way to a couple dollars.
Yep.
And you're telling me you would have waited it out?
You know, Rudy, one reason we're all sitting here together is because to some extent we've all done that with Magic. Like bought and like sat on them or Flesh and Blood
Yeah.
while they're going
Both,
like
both.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the reason the four of us are sitting at this table is because we've all done that to some extent.
Well, he believed he was the first one to see the big stuff in Flesh and Blood.
Oh,
He
exactly.
he saw it before me. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Well, but honestly, I barely even looked. After so many years,
No, I told you about Flesh and Blood.
You
and
did.
made fun of me.
You're shilling.
you did.
Everybody says that about it.
Well,
I don't think I said it
didn't
like
make
that.
fun of it. I said I didn't know anything about it.
But after so many years of all these like terrible other games coming out and then flopping,
Oh, I agree with you.
you just end up being a skeptic.
No,
But no, I never took the time to sit down and say, here's what the dynamics of the game, here's why it's cool, every card is mana,
Yeah.
you can actually grade your armor pieces. Then Rudy, like the last time we came up and visited,
I do
well,
like
it's
the
two
mana
times ago,
aspect.
he sat Dan and I down and he's like, you guys need to understand this. And he showed us these aspects about the game and we're both like, oh my god, it's
This is a really awesome game. They
Yeah.
fixed mana. They fixed mana screw.
Yeah.
They eliminated non-games, which happened, I don't know, 15% of the time,
Actually,
right?
which came first? Card Monsters or Flesh and Blood?
I don't even know
Because
what
Card Monsters,
is.
Card Monsters is an app that actually also pitches for mana.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm unaware of Card Monsters. I know Flesh and Blood rather well though, but yeah.
When did Flesh and Blood come?
Oh, I'm so full. Thank
No,
you.
we're good.
Good.
Dude,
Thank you so much.
I'll take one more.
I'm just saying, he saw, Sane was the first person to throw down the money
Yeah.
to try to make a position.
Thank you.
I mean, he was the first one because I was just selling, my goal working with them was just trying to get people to know what it was.
Yeah.
You know, and again, even
It's like
when
grabbing Dan and I. You got to see what this is.
yeah, I told both of you, wait.
Oh yeah, you told me all the time.
I remember he
Yeah.
told me how he watched the first video when I was talking about the original alpha boxes and, oh, what's flesh and like he was like, he knew about it, but just, all right, cool, no one cares. And moved on. You
Well,
know,
I didn't know anybody to play with it, and I didn't know.
no one
how to
plays it, it's just you two
Yeah.
just sell to each other back and forth,
Yes,
right?
apparently, right?
Well, it's a great way to make money. He sells to me, and then I think I make money, and I sell it back to him.
I'm just saying though, like even when I sold the original $300 kits, I told everybody, I didn't even sell them all at the beginning.
Yeah.
I couldn't sell them all. That's how I got stuck with some of them. Many patrons returned them. And I took losses. I paid the shipping both ways. I lost the PayPal. I took hits. And now everyone's just like, oh, all this money. And it's like, no, that's not what happened. It didn't work that way. He was the first one, not me. I know that's weird to say.
Yeah.
He was the one that saw it. He saw the data and threw the money and went for it. And then after that, everything started moving. And then
Your videos encouraged me. I was paying attention to what's going on.
I
I
didn't
was
think
like,
it was going to do this.
these are cold foils. These are really special. This is different. This art is art like Magic
Yeah,
used to be.
This,
you know,
Yeah.
cold foils are really good.
they're really sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't curl.
And the
No,
girl.
they do not.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he was the first one to see the value. He saw the growth. I knew it was going to do good because I thought it was a good game. It was worth putting my name with it. But he was the one who saw the extreme potential. I didn't.
Wow, thanks. I just
Mhm.
like the game. I just like the. You said it. I just like the game.
I like the stock.
I like the stuff.
We should probably just stop that now. It's been a long video.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's there anyways.
Bye, everybody.
No one's watching.
No
If you're
one's
any
still-
there, go ahead and make a comment below. Then we'll know that
No,
you're
say
actually
something
there.
special so you know. Like,
Yeah.
hashtag side boob special.
There you go. Put that down.
Side special.